back. It's a brand new season of CGL.
This is just an absolute treat. These players are so damn good.
The talent on these teams is undeniable. Everybody on every team right now is making plays.
It's going to be an exciting start to the season, and it'll just get better from here on out.
We're about to step to a whole new era of Overwatch esports. So much exciting action is happening here on CGL that you do not want to miss.
Look who's starting it all off. It's Raven. No one necessarily figure out what is the right way to go just yet.
What a nice roll through. He's just gonna solidify everything within those.
Does come back, and Arsario gets the mech, but I don't need a mech. I'll kill 4 anyway.
This is just a highlight reel for Arsario right now.
They're making a statement in the EU Masters here.
This patch is still incredibly fresh. There's so much to learn, so much to change about the way we play the game.
NKC, but the shatter is colossal.
Let's get it going.
Trades keep coming through. Lores, you're gonna be able to find these shots true.
Idu on the overclock with 2.
Here comes an Adelaide immediately in the back line. Fine skills, slicing and dicing their way through 2-3. So back and forth.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Midseason Grandfinals for the NAGM tier. We've got a hopefully banger of a series for you tonight. We've got Bigbigbigttarfan600 versus RRG Varsity. I am Joker. That is that's too try hard, right? There he is. And we are here to bring you all the action on this Saturday evening.
Yeah, Bigbigbigttarfan coming off as the big time winners of the GM division last season. RRG Varsity was coming off a deep run in those playoffs, but didn't take home the crown. So they both now meet in the grand finals of the mid-season. But before we start to take a look at this series, let's kind of go over about what we've seen going on today and what's going to be going on today. Earlier, we had EMC Canados beating Bliss Marauders Tier 5 in the grand finals 3-1, and 0907 winning the EU Open Division against the Flock 3-0. Obviously, we have our game today that we just told you about, and then later today, which will be going on CGL2 in an hour, we got Sort of Skilled going against Low Ground Main. I believe that's the Masters Grand Finals.
Yeah, I believe so, because that's the team that
it's Masters,
stomped our.
It's Masters.
That's the team that curb stomped the prod team. That's that sort of skilled roster. Yeah, good stuff from the other games today, right? 0907. I believe we're doing well in Face It Expert Division right now. Other than that, I mean, hey, this should be a good round, a good game of Overwatch tonight. Obviously, we are in the NAGM tier. There's only 4 teams total. Now there's 2 teams left. This is winners round 2. So the grand finals. And again, so look, Bigbigbigttarfan, right? 3-1 against Utah, right? So hey, maybe they're not as good as last season, but still good enough to be the number 1 overall seed and be in the finals yet again. RRG Varsity here, a lot better than they were last year, right? Had some up and downs. I believe they lost to their JV roster. No longer. They've got some of them from that roster last year and are now putting on a show in the GM tier.
Yeah, the one thing I want to highlight is we'll bring up a graphic, but we casted the game of RRG versus Unknown Origin, and Mac kind of took over that game. So we got a comparison here of 2 of the better DPS players for both of these teams. We got Piggles up against Mac, who, I mean, just look at that. Mac's slight advantage in those final blows per 10, but you can say Piggles is at least dying less. Let's just say, you round up, round down, 1 less death per 10. So not as much, killing power, but they're also staying alive in their fights a little bit more often.
Yeah, right. And they talked about it when we interviewed him, right? Having Mac be able to take over games on Tracer is something that they look to have or look to play into the strength of. So we'll see if Big T-Tar fan is going to make that adjustment, look to shut down that Tracer when the Tracer is available, and we'll be seeing, well, when that Tracer gets banned, because I would have to think one of the maps we're not going to be seeing Tracer, because they did their if they did their research, like I assume they did, we're going to see a Tracer ban come in from Big T-Tar fan.
I agree, but we have also seen the ability for Mac to be able to play that Sojourn, so that's always a possibility too. But this is round 2, given there was only 4 teams who qualified for the midseason tournament. So round 2 dictates that our first map, as you can see on the screen, is going to be Oasis.
Oasis, the first round. Nice. It's nice to see some variation from the OWCS map pool. See something that we haven't seen in a while, right? So it'll be good. But I was talking about bans, and it looks like the teams are starting to ban their characters out. Interesting. There's going to be a substitute, but we'll talk about that in a second here, as RRG is banning first here, Ray.
Yeah, that's going to be the big question on a map like Oasis, where a lot of the submaps can vary in what you want to play. Where do you go with these bans? Like University tends to be more of a brawl it out map. So, but if you get to like downtown, it's more divey. So depending on which submaps you go can really affect which DPS, tanks, and supports are going to be the strongest on those submaps. So it's not like we're going to Watchpoint Gibraltar. I don't want them playing Winston, so I ban Winston or I ban Honor or something. It's not that clear cut on a map with so much variability.
Yeah, to see here is we're waiting for that ban timer to go down, and look at that, Echo banned first here for RRG Varsity.
Echo is very interesting because I think you can make the Echo work, whether it's brawl or dive or poke. It just takes a lot of that explosive damage off of the field, and then you don't have to be constantly worried about that focusing beam once your health goes below half. So I think all in all, very safe, smart ban for the very first round. The question is, how do the side of big T-Tar fan react, and where do they go with their ban?
Well, we'll have to see here as we're waiting for that to come through from them. Obviously, now with the Echo being banned, like you were talking about, was kind of zoned out, so I don't remember what you said, Ray. Full transparency. I assume they banned Echo as well, just to keep that DPS protected as well, to stop, so they can play whatever they want, unless they because if they didn't want to play Echo, clearly, so they have the full rest of the DPS roster to pick from, as we're waiting to see what it is, and we'll find out in 5 seconds here. And interestingly enough here, Ray, the ban is Lucio.
I mean, that tells me we're not going to get any Lucio on University. But I mean, Lucio Curie is also like a form of Winston comp we've seen on like Gardens and downtown. So I guess I could see it, but I feel like it feels early for a Lucio ban. Like, you feel like if you didn't want a Lucio in play, you look to ban that on like, a push map possibly, or maybe a flashpoint map. It feels early on because Lucio's a big time ban and limits a lot of the comps you can play. I mean, they're going to get it out early, and I'm just not sure how I feel about it this early in the series when you haven't really felt each other out yet.
Yeah, and I kind of get it, right? I mean, there's just I'd think you'd want to save it for a map that really depends on Lucio, right? You can get away with it. on some sub variants. Like if we're getting down to Flashpoint, right, and you ban Lucio there, kind of a big deal. Now Oasis, you can get away with it, right? You can probably play the Juno and sublimate the speed a lot easier. But we have rosters to come in here, Ray, and we'll start it off with Bigbigbigttarfan, right? Pickles and DJ Ashtray on the DPS line. Haru, sorry, is going to be the tank, and then Nala and Spicy Toast rounding it out on the support line here. And a lot of these people seem to be on from Utah, so or at least that's what their that's what their team sheet says. So this should be a really confident and comfortable team together.
Yeah, very excited to see how this is going to go. Pickles, obviously, we highlighted them earlier. One of the people to keep an eye out for. But Haru on the tank also someone to watch out for. Very flexible, very dominant. And with that, let's go ahead and pull up their opponents, RRG Varsity. We got Bowser and No Nag on the DPS line. No Mac starting out, which we're going to have to see how that goes for them. With Piercing and Nene tank and support, with Virus on the support. So to me, given that they're taking Mac out this first map, to me, given that he played a lot of Tracer and sometimes Sojourn, maybe they are looking to go more of that brawl it out style of composition, and Bowser's pool is going to fit that a little bit better.
Yeah, we'll have to see, right? They also brought in Varus. Virus instead of who was the other swap that they had coming? Guitar Bob. Yep. Yeah, so Guitar Bob was their Lucio player. Obviously, they took him out because, well, Lucio's banned. So probably gonna be seeing Varus on the Juno here. I would have to expect one of them or Nene. But we'll have to see as we're gonna be loading into Oasis now.
Starting out on downtown, so I think it's less likely we tend to see brawl it out comps. I mean, we could still see Malgas going at it, but in general, I think, Winston, Divas, Wrecking Balls, that's going to be the name of the game on this map. But if you were to see the Malga, we have seen it's Brig and Juno is what tends to be what a lot of teams have been playing with it.
Well, we'll see if that comes to fruition. And well, no. Interesting, Ray. Now, I won't say. Yeah, I was about to say.
It's hard for me it's hard for me to talk about either of these comps because I feel like they each have like a troll pick that I'm not sure if they're actually going to roll out on. But the Wrecking Ball pick, I kind of expected that. They are going to roll out on the Moira, which we've seen this on maps like Lijiang Control Center, but never on Oasis.
Yeah. About the Moira, man. I can't take Moira players seriously anymore just because how often they ruin my games. But I'll go in already here. Haru's looking into the back, trying to force out positioning from Varus. They're going to force them away, and Piercing is super low. Going to have to retreat, get some healing, but they're going to still be able to be the ones to find the first pick. It's No Nag taking down Pickles early on here. And now, we're still trying to see them come in, and well, they do find a couple of picks. Bowser and Nene go down. Trades are still there. Piercing's still alive and doing damage, right? And that's all you can really ask for from your Malga player. We'll see if they can flip the fight, keep it going their way, but still anyone's point at the moment, still waiting to open it up fully. No one really in the driver's seat quite just yet. The Piercing's gonna go super low, finally goes down, and that should open it up for Ttarfan in a moment, as the picks are going to be coming in, and the caster percentage gonna be going their way, though the picks keep throwing back. They do have to force a recall. No Nag's still alive, and well, they might be able to flip this point if they can find another pick. With piercing back on the Winston now, and DJ Ashtray's gonna fall down. And a nice recapture gonna come through as they are able when they take down Spicy Toast, as they stall them out. But no, they're gonna still buy more time. Still, things keep coming. People keep touching the point. The sleep dart there. The anti-nade comes out onto Haru, and they're gonna be able to take them down. Point finally going back the way of RRG.
Yeah, that's one thing you have to be worried about if you're RRG is Big T-Tarfan. Their comp can stall for a crazy amount of time with the ball, with the Tracer, with the Moira. Then coming back on the Winston, I think, was smart. It felt like the Mauga, there just wasn't a whole lot to be able to stand and shoot on, and you need that cardiac overdrive as the overall ray comes out.
Orbital Ray in, like you said, from Nala. Varus is going to go super low. Piercing's going to get that nano boost, and DJ Ashtray is going to fall down first. Wasn't expecting that at all. Piercing's going to be the one to keep finding these picks. They do lose Bowser. Coalescence invested here, but I don't know if it's going to be really enough to turn it, as you're going to invest Primal Rage here from Piercing. Minefields come through, but you're going to try to bash your and dash your way away from them. You do lose Virus, who's not going to be able to use their Kitsune rush in this, but the picks just keep going in the favor. And now that I say that, though, T-Tarfan are going to be back in control as Haru finds a couple there. The T-Tarfan going to be able to take back the point at 57%, 56%.
As these teams are really going back and forth, tit for tat, the big issue that Big T-Tarfan is going to be facing is they really have nothing coming online. They're going to be facing a Kitsune rush and a tectonic shock, but Virus gets an opening pick on a Spicy Toast, so that's already an opening.
Yeah, a nice opening already there, and now Sleep Dart comes through, and the Kitsune rush from Varus. DJ Ashtray already down for the count, and so is Nala in a few short moments here, getting gang rushed by RRG in the midst of the Kitsune rush. Spicy Toast about to go down as well, has to run away, use their own healing orb, but it's just not going to be enough healing to stay in the fight, and the picks keep going red. RRG back in control of the point.
And because they got that pick early on to Spicy Toast, Joker, they didn't even have to use their tectonic shock. All they needed was the Kitsune rush. They're able to clean things up. So now they're going to have 4 ults to combat these incoming few ults that Big T-Tarfan is going to be coming up. And if T-Tarfan doesn't win this fight, this sub-map is over.
Could be over here, as this is going to be a nice sleep dart yet again. Nene really doing well on this Ana. Tectonic shock now available. Going to find DJ Ashtray, and the picks just keep coming through for RRG. They do flip the point, but it is just going to be for a moment. But, you know, they're going to be able to stall for a little bit longer. Nice dash. Going to stop Haru in their tracks, stop that roll through, and get that point back in their favor.
The point flip's also going to allow some of the stallers to come back in for the side of Big T-Tarfan. So, nice point flip, 99% and counting. Oh, they do get the touch just in time.
You get the touch, but there it's a very low touch. But Bowser in the middle of the minefield, going to be able to play Minesweeper, stay alive for the time being. And you know what? You're going to be able to win this fight out when you're going to be able to clean up the remaining members of Big T-Tarfan. No nag with 2 there late, and that's going to be round 1 going to RRG.
It just felt like, especially the DPS, the side of RRG when it came to Bowser and Nonag, they were constantly finding picks, and Nene completely just countering out Haru on that ball. Seemed like they had picked that Ana Groggy perk where you get to sleep, and even though you get woken up, you're still slowed for a couple of seconds, and then they were just sleeping and anting them every single time and not allowing Haru to have a good time. As we now come to Gardens for the next sub-map, we already see Haru getting off of the Wrecking Ball, going over to the Winston, and they're going to have DJ Ashtray play the Reaper to apply that much more pressure onto Piercing on this Winston.
Yeah, You know, I'm expecting an Ana ban in the near future from Big T-Type fan if Nene does not get held in check on this map of Oasis, right? Because they were able to do so much, and you know, banning them is a very justified position, but you're going to be able to take them down. Good Sleep Dart did come in. Haru was slept for the moment, and the picks come in. Spicy Toast is going to be able to fall, so there's still definitely an opportunity for RRG to win this fight out, but you do have the point precedent for T-Tarfan. Piercing's gonna fall, and that should allow that point control to go build up even further.
Yeah, again, we saw Piercing going down in that fight. I mean, they are now going to swap over to the D.Va knowing, like, hey, our Winston cannot take this pressure from this Reaper. D.Va at least has that defense matrix to be able to eat a lot of that damage and alleviate that pressure. So I think very smartly changed up by RRG.
Yeah, as now, this Pharah gonna come in here, gonna get some nice directs there onto the backline, force them away, force them into the small room, and they're just gonna be dealt with, well, finally dealt with by the Pharah. Spicy Toast gonna be staying alive for a little bit too long, thanks to Nala. But you know what? You're just gonna go down yourself, so there's just no answer for RRG. They made Piercing swap over to the D.Va now.
And the Pharah being in play too was able to get Spicy Toast on that brig, but the tracking from Big T-Tarfan was very nice. Pulse Bomb comes in, but a nice Suzu from Virus able to stop that ult from getting any kills.
Yeah, now they're gonna come in here with the orbital rain. Everyone's just low on RRG, and Haru's gonna be able to take to the skies, take down Bowser, and build us up to maybe the last, the penultimate fight here.
And a Death Blossom for the side of DJ. Actually, the one thing you have to be worried about is Nene being able to sleep you during this. So just make sure you position yourself well for it. And Virus will be able to lay down a Kitsune Rush on point as they're trying to touch your 90% and counting.
This is down to the last fight now. I mean, I was talking about second to last fight. This is definitely the last fight. Took too long. Anti-nade onto Haru. Ferrara Barrage going to come in onto Spicy Toast. There's the Death Blossom as well. Only going to find one. Varus is not going to have an opportunity for this Kitsune Rush in this fight. As Piggles going to be blinking around the point, trying to stay alive. You definitely have the opportunity to flip it back over for RRG with Nene finding that kill onto Pickles. Now you just need to be able to stay alive. Nano Boost going to come online on to Bowser. Can they land the shots that they need? Primal Rage active. Picks keep coming through, and Vera still not able to use that Kitsune Rush, and that should just be it. Round 2 goes to Big T-Tarfan.
And what a turnaround to go from, getting 100 to, I think it was like 60-ish, and they come and turn around and 100 to 0. The side of RRG seemed like no nag going over the Winston was just exactly what they needed. They got Piercing, who was doing so well on that Winston. They have to swap over the D.Va, and that says nothing about his skill on the D.Va. It was just, man, he was eating them alive on the Winston. As now we head into University, which I talked about how is much more of the brawly map. We see Big T-Tarfan hovering over the Junker Queen with Haru. And that's one of the heroes I've seen Haru play very well on. And they're going to, as you mentioned, supplementing that speed with the Juno, with Lucio being banned. Still not a big fan of the Moira. I would have preferred the Brig.
Yeah, don't like Moira. I had a Moira throw my game yesterday, and I got called the problem when the Moira had less healing than the Mercy. I got called the problem, though. Sorry, I had to get that out on air. But now as Neg's pulled up the Torbjorn here, right? It's gonna be interesting to see how this is in play already. Ooh, finding a rivet shot to the dome of Pickles. And now this is gonna allow RRG to take the fight to him. You've got a lot of people low. You do lose Bowser, so I mean, it looked a little shaky, but in the end, RRG is still gonna be able to take that point.
Yeah, getting those 2 pickoffs pretty early on, and the idea of playing the Torb, I love the Torb. The Torb has been seeing a lot more action recently, and it's going to be a great deterrent from Piggles, who's on this Genji. Put that turret in a good spot to really fend off flanks, and then it makes Piggles that much harder to get the value on the Genji.
So now they're going to come in here, already looking to take down Nene, and they do indeed. A good engage, a good speed in from Haru. He's also trying to supplement that speed in with that commanding shout, and you're going to be able to look to, well, take back this point here pretty convincingly. You do lose Pickles yet again. No next. Still the ever sniper with the Torbjorn Rivet Gun.
And again, that's how you want to play with this Jungle Queen. It's fast, it's aggressive, it's get in there, find a pick quickly, and get your 5v4 advantage and clean up the fight. DJ Ashtray taking a lot of damage, forced to Wraith out of there.
Wraithing away and, well, getting back to the team, getting some healing, but you're still going to be super low. The directs come in from Bowser, not able to find those picks, and now No-Nag is down for the count. It's Pickles finally getting that revenge, able to stay alive. Oh! Oh! It's gross. You should have seen my face. That was disgusting. No way. Virus gets Rage Axe in the midst of this, but, you know, it might not matter fully because the picks are still coming in for RRG, even though you would have won it a lot more comfortably without that Rage Axe.
I mean, I feel like you would have wanted to just hold on to it. Like, you already won the fight. You didn't even need the orbital ray at that point. And you threw 4 ults into that fight. And look at Bigbigbigttarfan. They're going to have 4 ults now throw at you. Nene, your rally can only do so much, my friend.
Yeah. No, you're just going to have to kind of kite for a little bit. Try to touch at the last second. Death Blossom, not going to find any value. And you're like, that's what I was saying. You're touching at the last second. You do give up point, though. You still have the opportunity to use Rally, invest it into this fight. You haven't lost it quite out just yet. So a Rampage available, and you're going to lose No-Nag. Dragon Blade now comes through from Pickles, looking to slice dice their way to victory, but they're going to get stopped up, piercing down, though. And, you know, you maybe invest the rally a little too late. Not going to find the value you're hoping for. And, well, Bigbigbigttarfan are back in control.
See, my issue there, Joker, was why did you invest Rally at that point? Like, if you wanted to use it in that fight, as soon as that orbital ray disappeared, I pop Rally and we're go, go, go. And they just didn't do that. They waited until basically the fight was over and then popped it, hoping to turn a disadvantaged fight with it. And that's not how you want to use Rally.
As now we go into this 90% and counting. Last fight territory, and Haru has the means to finish it all off. Now they could shut him down, though, if they do get a nice Suzu. Molten Core on the floor, Rampage out. Now they've only connected to No-Nag, and you're just going to back away. Barrage comes in from Bowser, but no one falls. The supports are going to find some picks, and Piercing finds that and pick on Anala, but Nene's still very low, and you're getting coalesced to high heaven as Haru finds all the picks you need. And Bigbigbigttarfan take map number 1.
It wasn't as clean as they were hoping, as they kind of got rolled on the first sub map, but we'll just call that a warm-up, as second map was extremely dominant, and third map they're able to get it done in convincing fashion. Bigbigbigttarfan hoping to keep up the momentum off winning last season to try and win the mid-season, but they showed off a lot of flexibility as well. They proved that they can win in the Winston mirror. You know, they had the ability, like, okay, let's take away their Winston as well with this Reaper. So they're really good at, like, basically, like, pocket countering certain picks on the other team. They go, okay, Pearson's good on this Winston. Let's shut that down. Force him to go over the Diva. It didn't work so well. And then they come into the Brawl map, and they go, all right, let's show off our Junker Queen comp. And it was very, very good. And, you know, very excited to see where this goes. I do think you got to be weary if we're going to continue to see DJ Ashtray play this Reaper. Winston just may not be it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you there. I mean, that it's why Reaper has always been a direct counter to Winston, right? I mean, we've seen it since the beginning age of Overwatch, and still now in the late stages of Overwatch 2, or the late stages of the game's life here. So, I mean, we'll have to see if that continues to be the case. We'll have to wait to see, speaking of which, where we're headed. It is map type and map pick from RRG Varsity here.
Yes, that's the big thing. You know, let's say you do favor this Winston style composition. Do you take us to Watch Point Gibraltar? Because I feel like on a map like that, playing Reaper is extremely difficult because of the long sight lines where you can play a hit scan and force a lot of the pressure off of that Reaper. That's at least one thought in my head, but we do have the map pick coming in. They're taking us to Escort, and they are taking
Hybrid.
us on a ride because we're going to Blizzard World.
No, they're going hybrid, Ray.
Oh, hybrid. Did I
Blizzard
say
World's a
Escort? I meant
hybrid.
hybrid.
Blizzard World's a hybrid map. Guys, we know what we're talking
My
about.
bad. I got so
can't
caught
just
up.
get
I got so caught up
professionally.
in making my joke, you know, with a ride because it's an amusement park that slipped out.
Guys, we're professionals here. We know what they're actually are, what map type Blizzard World actually
Too focused on making a joke, folks.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, though, it looks like we do have a substitute coming back in, but we'll talk about that in a second after we get through this band stage here for RRG Varsity and Big T-Tar Fan. I'm interested to see what bands we see here, right? Maybe you ban the Reaper, but like you said, we're going into a longer range map, so maybe you won't even have to worry about that at all. And then maybe we ban Winston just to not play Winston, but it looks like the Brig is being banned by RRG Varsity.
Interesting decision. To me, you know, it hurts the Winston composition because you want to play Ana, but when you have an Ana, you definitely prefer having a Brig as that like bully protector kind of piece. You can still play the Winston with the Ana, but you're probably gonna have to go more like a carry and use your Suzus to protect and, you know, find some picks. I don't know, but I think it's a very smart ban. The big question is, how does Big T-Tar Fan respond? You know, to me, I'm curious because we did see their perplexity, especially with Piggles wanting to play things like the Tracer, and we saw how their highlighted player was the Genji, but they were running some stuff on the side of RRG that were kind of limiting what they could get away with. Yeah, that's kind of not a big shocker because the Torb was limiting flanks Piggles could go on.
Yeah. So that is the pick from Big T-Tar Fan, right? I mean, No Nag was really good on it, and you're shutting that down now. We have some substitutions coming in here for RRG and bringing in Mac and Guitar Bob.
We talked about how Guitar Bob is a main support player for them. They play Lucio a lot of the time, but they have others in their repertoire. And Mac, we talked about him before the series coming in, and we even saw there was one point, I believe, was it with you where they played the Junkrat, right? And you were doubting it, and it worked. I think that was you I was casting with.
Oh, probably. I like to doubt things, and then it usually blows up in my face.
Yeah, so Mac, that's the player to watch out for, just because we even heard in their interview that he's very much so like he goes with the pocket pick, whatever they're feeling in the moment to really get things done. So he's the wild card.
The wild card indeed. We'll have to see what we get from them here down the line as we're loading in. And Pickles going on to the Echo, which was previously banned on Oasis.
We talked about the amount of damage and burst that you're able to do as that Echo. I like combining it with DJ Ashtray on this Ash. You know, you get dynamite, fire damage, plus, you know, sticky bombs exploding, following up with the focusing beam. I think it can be absolutely deadly. And they are going to continue to play a Winston comp, but they are going to go with the Ana Juno. So the one thing you have to be very worried about, since there's no Brig, Ana Juno, very, very squishy. So they don't have a lot of survivability, but a lot of heals to give.
Yes, now, Noneg's gonna just make a quick shot and switch back over. Max already found DJ Ashtray in already, and now we'll have to see if they continue to rotate forward into this. Might be able to take this quite quickly. Here's a nice anti-grenade came in from Nene yet again. Surprised they didn't ban it quite just yet. Maybe they're saving for a rainy day with that ban, but right now that's going to help them take this first point.
Yeah, we talked about how Mac's going to be the one to look out for. Not really a wild card pick on this one, going with the consistent Sojourn that we've seen them play, and they click two heads, win their team the fight just like that. Huge time bank to get the second point, because the second point can take a long time and a lot of time can be drained. So that's a great start for ROG.
Ooh, and already DJ Ashtray going down yet again, and there's going to be Spicy Toast following the same fate. As that should just be oh my goodness, yeah, that's just going to be a fight win yet again for RRG. And I mean, look at this. They're just a completely different team with Mac in.
One has to wonder why Mac was not in on the first map. Feels like they could have definitely used a Sojourn player of this skill. Already going to have overclock, and you know they have the ability if they want to throw a nano into this fight as well. RNG can continue to snowball this. One clean fight here, Joker, and they should be capping second point.
Yeah, we'll have to see, right? Haru and Piercing trying to make space for him as Pickles still trying to build up to that duplicate, but might not be able to, so you're going to get caught out. But Nene's going to go down. Mac is going to find a pick on the attack, again, and that's going to be another couple of picks coming through, and there they go with the dash, or not the dash, the deflect goes down. They find the pick on the DJ Ashtray.
Man, Joker, in all my life casting, it's been a long time since I've seen this big of a time bank coming into third point on Blizzard World of all maps. Like, that is insane to coast through the first 2 points just like that. And again, huge shout outs to Mac, but the entire team, Piercing's doing a great job of buying space to allow easy sightlines and easy headshots for Mac time and time again with those rail guns.
Yeah, so now we're going to see the copy already come in here from Pickles, but the pulse bomb takes down Spicy Toast and the duplicate in kind. They do lose Mac for the moment, but the Primal Rage out and Pickles is down. They do lose Nene, but it's still just not going to be enough. The picks are all just keep going into the favor of RRG, and even if they don't, they're still in an advantage of the spawn. But losing Guitar Bob like that, you know, might set them back for a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, the other thing you can say is Hard did a great job of making sure, despite the fight they were losing, to stay on the cart and not allow free space. And you get the Kitsune rush out, back to the spawn room you go. RRG, Big TTR has finally found their footing on Blizzard World.
Yeah, as now, we'll have to see here going in. Yeah, they've already found their footing, but it could change in a second here. Guitar Bob still has Sound Barrier available, right? But you're probably gonna have to save that for the Dragon Blade of DJ Ashtray. Piercing making the swap now over to the Mauga. It is going to be a little bit difficult. They're going to invest the Sound Barrier early here, pushing them back, pushing them, trying to find an opening pick here from Haru, but you might get stunned up and taken down. They do indeed, and it's going to be Guitar Bob to get that final blow. And now you can rotate onto the point. Haven't had to invest your Sound Barrier quite just yet, and you've built up to a Pulse Bomb. Now you're building up some even more. The tracking from Piercing looks so clean right now. You're just gonna be pushing forward ever so slowly.
Yeah, I love seeing the swap over to the Mauga. It does so well into the Winston compositions that we see Haru already abandoning the Winston, taking up the Mauga of their own. Lots of ults online for both these teams. Guitar Bob, though, has the Sound Barrier to do with his DPS ults.
There's the Dragon Blade, but the sound barrier up right when they needed it. Overclocked in, Pulse Bomb out, but it's gonna get cleansed away. Nene's about to have Kitsune Rush to seal the deal. You lose Piercing, but you don't need him, because you still got Mac in the back, taking all the names they need in the world. And RRG are gonna be able to take that with 3 minutes on the board.
And we talked about Blizzard World being extremely hard to finish. To only drop a minute off your time bank, 3 minutes to be able to re-engage on attack if, you know, this goes to the extra rounds, that is massive for the side of RRG. If you're a big TTTAR fan, that was a gut punch. Like, they came in and was like, all right, we saw how map 1 went, but watch this. Brings in Mac, pulls out their Winston composition that they showed they're good at, and this time big TTR fans not running the Reaper can't really do that when you have long sight lines, and you have Mac on the Sojourn. It's even harder to play that Reaper. So RRG comes in with a plan and executes it to perfection. And here we go. This is what we saw on the defense last time that I was questioning, that I wasn't 100% sure, but now I am. We got the no nag right now, who was on the Junkrat, but in this case, it was Mac last time. It was this team. I was correct in remembering it was this team.
Yeah. Okay. They're gonna go over and away from the Junkrat.
Yeah. They're probably not gonna go with it, because when they played it last time, they were in. I think they were up 2-0 already, and they were really feeling themselves.
I thought it was overtime. The overtime push.
Yeah. It was, but I think they were
for
up
this
2-0
map.
At that point.
I think it was their offensive overtime push on this map. And they just needed 33%. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was. But we'll have to see here as now on the attack, big Bigbigbigttarfan here, right? Gonna be pushing in already, forcing positioning away from RRG, getting the supports really low, but you're still gonna lose Pickles here. And no nags on the case. They found another one. The DPS are now gone for TTTARfan. And I don't know if they're going to have any more supports, as well as Haru and Nala follow quickly after each other. And Spicy Toast is just going to get stalled out.
No Nag doing a great job of applying pressure and finding those kills. We talked about on the attack how much Mac was doing. This time, No Nag's like, all right, they just handshake, all right, my turn. And now they are the ones coming through for RRG Varsity. For big TTRFan, they gotta find a way to get Pickles in on top of these players, especially, you know, this Ana.
Yeah, we'll have to see, right? I still think you've got to ban the Ana if you're a TTRFan next map. You're just getting decimated by it. You're trying to, you brought in the Kiriko to try to deal with it. It's just not working for you. The pick's just coming through yet again. RRG just cleaning house. You lose an Onag, but it's a Tracer. You're going to get back instantly.
Yeah, this is the one thing that's pretty worrying in even Winston fights with no Reaper to be able to apply pressure on a Winston. RRG is showing they are definitely more capable and more comfortable on this composition. Nano, 30% ahead for Nene, can just look to completely get aggressive here.
Going in here already. You lose Nene, but the Nano boost was invested onto Piercing, so, you know, that's still going to keep going the favor of RRG here. Piercing is going to get super low, so you're going to have to fully back out if you're RRG to wait for Nene.
And again, able to win a fight. They're going to have to forbade a lot of space because of Nene going down, but you still have 4 ults to work with here, while Big TTRFan is still working on building to some of these key ones.
Now we're going to go see here, right? I mean, you're just, almost going to find a pulse bomb there. Nano, anti-nade going to come in. Nene's just all alone on that high ground here, and Nala is already caught out. They did it, or they weren't able to invest Kitsune Rush. Sound Barrier going to be coming in response with Dragon Blade. The Nano boost. No way. Oh my goodness, Nene might just be the GOAT. They might just be, they just might be Twilight. I don't, they sleep up Pickles. Waste both the Dragon Blade and the Nano boost. And,
stagger.
It's crazy. Crazy.
I mean, you kind of talked about it, Jokey. You were kind of expecting a Ana ban at some point, but so far it has not happened as Nene is able to continuously dominate on the Ana pick.
It's right. If it's not banned next map, I honestly don't know what they're thinking, right?
I mean, they even put in the chat report Ana. Like, they realize how big Nene is being.
Exactly. They can't even handle with just the Suzu alone, right? You need something more, and it has to be the ban this next map. But we'll have to see if it's going to be a win or a loss. It's looking bad now as the overcut comes through and finds 3. His Matt is back yet again on the attack. For RRG, the team kill comes through. The map win comes in just in a few seconds later, and that is that. RRG ties it up with a dominant Blizzard World.
Woo-wee, man. What a map coming in from RRG. And, like, that first map was pretty close, all things considered. You know, it was 2-1, and the 2 maps they dropped weren't, like, dominant. Like, they didn't lose 100-0. They did on one of them, but the other was, like, 60. So to come out, get a 3-minute time bank on their attack, and then first point holding, they didn't get a single tick. That's a big statement coming out.
Yeah, it was an incredible statement. We've got to see if that Ana ban's going to come through after this short little break, because, I mean, goodness gracious, Nene is hard carrying this ROG varsity roster. Obviously, Mac and Noneg and, well, the rest of their team is doing their jobs, but, I mean, Nene is doing some hard work right now. We'll see if that changes after the short little break, so stick around. You're not going to want to miss the conclusion of the mid-season GM matchup right after this. Welcome back, everyone. Well, we're back and ready to go into our third map of the series. And, well, we're going to be headed into Flashpoint here.
So was the pick from the side of Big T-Tarfan, and they have decided to take us to New Junk City, which interesting pick. You know, given the type of maps we had left, we had Escort, which, you know, you think most of those maps are going to be Winston. So they probably didn't want to go there. And then you had Push and Flashpoint. So I think these Flashpoint maps are the ones where it's less likely to see those types of compositions. So it's going to be more like your Junker Queens, which we've seen Big T-Tarfan with Taru be able to do. So, I mean, Haru. So I think this was probably a wise pick.
Yeah, we're gonna see these bans here come through. Again, I just don't understand if you don't ban the Ana here.
I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, a map like New Junk City, it's not a map where Ana can carry as hard. It's a lot more close quarters, a lot easier to try and, you know, get through the team and get on top of them. So I don't think it's as like if we were going to Watchpoint Gibraltar and you didn't ban Ana, it's like, okay, I don't know, you know, what's going on here, but I don't think it's necessary 100% on the map like New Junk City.
Yeah, we'll have to see in a moment here what Big T-Tarfan are going to be banning. Like you said, you know, Mariana not in their minds, and well, it's not in their minds. They're going to be going with the Malga ban.
I think given that they probably want to go with Junker Queen based compositions, the Malga, the amount of survivability they'll be able to have with that cardiac overdrive measuring up against Haru on that Junker Queen, probably don't want to have to deal with that, and they won't.
Yeah, as we'll see what RRG decide to ban here in a second, though. Waiting for that to come up, and well, then we'll tell you who they banned. As now we get to see they're on the clock.
Yeah, no tank to be banned either, so they either got to go with a support or a DPS. They could ban Lucio, right? Because T-Tarfan banned it first. Like if they don't want to, if they want to get rid of the possibility of speeding, like I think that's definitely in the possibility in their realm. But we'll be finding out shortly. And on the DPS end, I don't think like anyone on TT Tarfan has been like super dominant on a certain DPS that you're going to want to ban out. So I don't think you're going to have to do that if you're the side of RG. And yeah, we're going to see the Kiri ban coming in.
Kiri ban in, so hey, I mean, you could still play the Ana here if you really want to, if you're RRG Varsity now with no Kiriko on the board for either of these sides, right? It is going to be a little bit harder, right? Maga's not going to really matter. Interestingly, though, we have some weird substitutions here, Ray. RRG making some role changes. Bowser's going to come back in for the DPS role, and No Nag going to come onto the tank. And again, comes in for Moira.
Very interesting to me. I mean, we see the little Zarya highlight there. To me, if you're bringing a DPS over to tank, they're either playing Junker Queen or they're playing Zarya, generally speaking. So that's what I'm kind of expecting. Still very weird, in a tied series like this to completely change up your lineup like this.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see what the decision is. Are we going to see like a Zarya? Are we going to see like a Junker Queen with Malga being banned, right? Maybe a Ramatra as well could be in the works, but I just don't know why you're subbing Piercing out, who has been really good all game long. As okay, we're getting a Zarya mirror.
I don't know if they shook hands before this, but very interesting to see both teams wanting to come out and play this. I mean, Zarya is very potent with these perks now available at their disposal, which is interesting because of the two Flashpoint maps, I actually think Zarya is better on Saravasa. So weird that they want to play Zarya, but they also took us to New Junk City when they could have taken us to the better Saravasa map. But that's fine. I mean, Zarya is still fine on this map too.
Yeah, the Graviton Crush perk is crazy. And we're gonna probably see that in a moment here when we get up to those perks here for both of them. Now, obviously, they're not going to be as good as my Zarya, right? But hey, already going to come in, and well, Bigbigbigttarfan are going to start off with a pick on the No Nag and well take the rest of the fight in their favor.
Again, just very clean, very quick Midseason showing that they made a smart map pick. This is the kind of comp they want to play, and the Genji to go along with this Zarya, I think it's going to work a lot better in this case. So Mac on this Tracer, who's also proven to be, very, very potent on this pick. Got to start coming through with some picks.
Now we're gonna go through here, and DJ Ashtray finding Bowser out already. Point is being pressured out by Mac, and no, they're gonna keep it going their way though. As T-Tarfan picks are still in their favor, and still nothing really doing from RRG quite just yet. As they're still waiting it out, but they do find DJ Ashtray. No Nag finally getting in on the kill feed here. Maximum charged up, 3 kills for them, and the point should flip over to them now quite shortly.
Yeah, so the issue with big T-Tarfan's composition with the Moira Lucio is they've been playing it well, but they're playing it how you're supposed to. You got to go quick and you got to find picks very fast because you don't have enough sustained healing with the Moira to be able to keep up in these long sustained fights. And that time, No Nag able to get the charge, find some picks. There's no winning that.
Sound barrier invested here, and Guitar Bob is down. So this could quickly flip back over to Bigbigbigttarfan. Bowser is down for the count as well. It's only a matter of time now to T-Tarfan get back in control and probably take this first point.
It only costs them the use of the sound barrier. Not going to be able to touch with how quickly these points tick up. And a Graviton's getting thrown in, but they can't even touch.
Can't even touch, and you're gonna still go down, right? So you're just gonna give free points, basically free points to Ttarfan now, because you're gonna lose everyone. You lose Spicy Toast, but again, that's just your Lucio player, right? So you're gonna be able to get back very quickly here. The good news, right, is both of these two teams are still pretty close to that second point.
To me, it seems like a big mistake to throw in that grab into that situation. I mean, you will have a sound barrier for their grab. I think the winning combination here is this orbital ray.
Orbital ray invested here by Nene. Graviton Surge gonna come in. Tectonic Shock coming through as well. Gonna be going right into them. First point gonna be, or second point gonna be captured up yet again by Big Ttarfan. And well, now Coalescence comes in for him again, and well, Bowser is down again. So, I mean, this should just continue to be Big Ttarfan's point to hold as the picks keep coming in.
As again, Big Ttarfan is doing a great job in the timing of their ult usage, and they've been making great advantage of it. As Matt's been kind of playing roulette between the Tracer and the Genji, goes back to the excuse me, goes back to the Tracer. RRG will have this Tectonic Shock to work with. Nothing. Maybe you get a sound barrier for Spicy Toast, but move fast with your RRG.
Ooh, DJ Asher's gonna go down here. It's a good opening here, right? And you might be able to find, no, Bowser's down, was not able to land the shots onto again. But Nonag still has some good tracking. Pickles is gonna be alive and well though, and you're gonna basically have to reset. GG go next for the next flashpoint here, as it's gonna be down to the third and could be the final one for Big Ttarfan.
And that's a nasty stagger coming on to Nene. And this is kind of what I was talking about coming in, Joker. You don't necessarily have to ban the Ana because this isn't necessarily the best map for the Ana. So, they come in, no need to ban it, and they can save it for, a possible, map 4 when we go to it, depending on who wins this one. As Matt gonna clean up Piggles, this is the kind of opening you need to start things out. If you said RRG, you found yourself too many times on the back foot.
Yeah, you've got to start off strong here. Pulse Bomb going to come through in a second here. Tectonic Shock invested here by Bowser, and that's just going to allow the cleanup come in for everyone here for RRG. And going to start off yet again. We'll start off here now strong.
They're going to have a lot of ults to boot. Like, this grab alone should go absolutely sicko mode, Joker. I mean, no sound barrier. If you go fast enough, there isn't going to be a Coalescence either. And they move quick enough, Haru won't be able to counter with one of their own. So, again, gotta be aggressive if you're RRG Varsity.
And they've got the Graviton crunch, and that, yeah, they had everything they needed just off of the back of that ultimate there. They have Graviton Crush, and they have Energy Lance, so that's Particle Cannon's beam pierces enemies all over 50 energy. So you're just doing so much damage if you're Nonag right now.
Not only that, but you also got the blade out of Pickles, so that fight could not have gone better. Now you can just lay down this orbital ray in the direction that they come from, and it's going to be good.
Coalescence in from again here. Sound barrier comes through. Haru's about to do their own Graviton Surge here, but you've lost Spicy Toast, and you might lose Haru here, but you can still invest this. No, you're not going to invest this Graviton Surge into this fight. Did Haru select the jump up ability or jump up perk instead of gravitation crutch?
With the jump up ability, me and Bullskunk, one of the other CGL casters, were talking about this when casting some collegiate, especially with how, a lot of the high ground on this map is pretty like in the middling area. You can actually use that jump ability to actually reach some of the high grounds you normally couldn't. So I don't think it's necessarily a bad pick.
I don't know about that, Ray. That's a pretty bad pick. But hey, the Tectonic Shock's going to be all you need to follow it up. They are going to be able to take control of this fourth flashpoint.
and they're able to save the sound barrier. So with these incoming DPS ultimates from Mac and Bowser, you're going to have the ability to sustain. Big Tarfan just needs to win one more point to send us to map number 4 and put themselves on Grand Final Championship. Oh, Piggles down early, too aggressive.
And tectonic shot comes in from Bowser, takes down again. Well, this should go back into the favor of RRG Varsity with a late pick onto Haru, and the picks keep coming through on to Big Tarfan, and that's the point back into the favor of RRG.
That's how you need things to go. You know, just one ult commit to really get back into that fight. The thing I'd be most worried about is you're coming up on your grab, but you want to make sure you get this sound barrier out of Spicy Toast. So maybe get a good pulse and try and force out that sound barrier early on.
The Seer now going forward. Nonag up. He's going to try to build up to this grab, but you might not even need it for this fight, because they've already found 2 in the engagement, and more are on the way. And look at that. You're going to be able to win that fight out with no investments, and you're stacking up for this next engagement.
I mean, Joker, would you say Christmas came late or came early? Because winning that fight with not needing to use a single ult was exactly what RRG needed. Because if they can win this with, you know, trading ults, then they get to the 5th point where everything's going to be a lot more even in this ult economy. RRG uses the grab.
Grab in, Pulse Bomb, there, it's all over as RRG take back and tie up this Flashpoint map 2-2. What a combination.
It's all going to come down to Junkyard, as it's a very good role of the RNG to be able to completely take control of this point. And they only traded 2 for 1 in the ult exchange in this last fight. So very, very well done, as RNG is making quite the comeback on New Junk City.
They're looking really calm, cool, collected. Orbital Ray available as well for this fight. And you're going to invest it here now. And again is down. Blade is out, but you're deleted if you're Piggles. And that is huge for RRG. Again, 1 ult, 1 fight, and you keep moving forward.
And not only that, as we saw, the Blade was using that fight, so it wasn't just like we used 1 ult, they used nothing. You were able to get an exchange out of it and still able to win the fight, as RRG completely turning things around. And, you know, this incoming Haru grab, because they've been so good with their ultimate economy, Guitar Bomb's going to have the sound barrier, and you can look to re-engage with the Tectonic Shock.
Yeah, as now, we're going to see here going into this, Grav is out, point flips back over, sound barriers late, and no what?
Ajax?
I think it was. I think it was indeed, and then there it is, a certified CGL Ajax moment. Yeah,
I'm literally sitting there, Joker, watching this go off. I'm like, I know you got a pick, but why aren't you using sound barrier? And then, like, just see it go to 0. I'm like, huge mistake by RRG, and it takes all the momentum out of the air and puts it into the sails of Big Tarfan. Now they're going to have this overclock to work with and nothing to mitigate it if you're RRG.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. If you're RNG, that might just take all the wind out of your sails here, because you're gonna lose this. Well, maybe you lose this fight. Bowser does find DJ Ashery, and another pick comes through. But I'd have to assume Big Tarfan holds this because they have the numbers advantage. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong indeed. But you've got to touch the point. You get there in the end. Overtime already up. You need to stay on the point. You've got the Gav available. It's going to be huge. Pulse Bomb comes through, and you're going to be able to seal it yet again for RRG, as it's Mac and Nonag combining for that combination.
You keep the hopes alive on this map. The one issue is Spicy Toast can now use the sound barrier pretty aggressively. Same with his Blade from Piggles. You gotta hope somehow Nene can build up to this orbital array quickly, and you're able to mitigate and stay alive until then.
As now we go into this, using that sound barrier very aggressively, like you said, but now they have nothing available for this late fight, and Nene could build up to this, could use this overclock. DJ Ashtray's down. Guitar Bob goes super low, but there goes Bowser still. It's anyone's point at the moment, but Nene might be able to save it with the orbital ray, especially with Pickles falling. Again, gonna be using their coalescence. Orbital ray now on the point. It's all out mayhem, and Pickles is down. RRG are on the precipice of flipping it back over and taking this map, bringing us up to a 2-1 series lead in their favor, with the last couple of pictures coming in. As there they go, Haru's down, point flips back over. Is there going to be some touches? I'm sure there will be, but maybe not. No one's going to be able to get there. RRG take the map, go up 2-1.
Just when you thought things were comfortable for Big TT Tarfan and they had the answers, in comes No-Nag, finally gets going on this Zarya, and Mac and Bowser are able to back them up so well, and Nene started to make a lot happen on that Juno. Building up to that orbital ray in the final fight, I was talking about, I'm like, man, you got to stay alive. You guys got to keep this going. Once that comes online, if you guys are still in an advantageous fight, you pop that, you win.
You win indeed, and that's what we saw there in the end. Able to stay alive, and RRG are on the precipice of what some would say is a upset in this NAGM tier. As we were saying, Bigbigbigttarfan were the top dogs going into this season, going into this mid-season as well. And, well, RRG might just take the wind out of their sails.
Now, the big question, Joker, is we have two map types left. We have push and we have escort. Big Tarfan has the pick. We talked about how escort's going to be much more favorable toward those Winston-based compositions that RRG absolutely dominated on Blizzard World. You have bans available to ban like a Winston and Ana. Do you take us there, or do you take us to push, where your brawl is probably going to be more favored, that we know Big Tarfan likes to play, but if you somehow manage to win this, you know it's all going to come down to an escort map that RRG is going to be able to pick the best one they're at. Mm-hmm. And then, you know, maybe the ban's not going to matter as much just because they're so good at this map. They have contingency plans based on bans.
Yeah, you're right. We'll have to see. You're right. I'd assume. I don't know. I wonder what we're going to see. Right? Do we see the escort pick and then the Ana ban? Right? Or the Winston ban? Right? But I think they already banned. Did they already ban Winston?
No, Winston has not been banned
Okay,
yet.
Winston has not been banned. So we could see the Winston ban as well from Bigbigbigttarfan, but I think specifically you need to ban that Ana if we're going to escort, for me personally, right? So that's the caveat if we had to escort. Or you could go to push, save that Ana ban for map 5 and throw it all on the line there.
Oh man, that is going to be the big question, because that's actually kind of smart. Like if you took us to, I don't know, let's say you took us to a Dorado and you ban a Winston. I mean, you can, you know, supplement the Winston with the Diva, and like you said, or like you said, you take, and then for push, you save the Ana ban, so then, you know, that mitigates the Winston too, even though Winston is also good on a lot of those push maps. So I think that's probably the right angle. The question is, you know, what is in the heads of Big Tarfan, and what are they going to look to do? They don't find themselves a lot with pressure like this. They were pretty dominant last season in this tier, and to find themselves in a win or go home situation is not what they're used to.
Yeah, not at all. Not at all. I mean, we're still waiting to see what the map is. And interesting. That map that they just tried to pick, I don't believe is in the map pool. So they're gonna have to figure something else out. But they tried to bring us to Watch Point Gibraltar here, Ray. Not in our map pool.
I'm going to be honest. I am not 100% sure what is the escort maps available. Yeah, it is
Rialto-
definitely not.
Rialto
Rialto,
to-
Dorado, Shambali, or Route 66.
Mhm.
It looks like.
Yeah.
So I mean, if you're wanting to play, you know, a hard Winston map like that, then you know the next one, in my opinion, is you go to Dorado. That's like the next big. Like Winston is very good on this map.
Yeah. It's interesting because, right, watch points available in stage 2 in our week 8, which I'm looking at currently in our fancy little map pools, but not available for the mid-season tournament. So, got to change up your thought process there. Still going to see where they decide to take us. Are they going to still stick with escort? Or are they going to head over to Dorado like you were thinking?
Again, if that's the style they were wanting to play, you can play that exactly on Dorado. And it looks like, based on what I'm seeing, yeah, we do have that map pick in. And it kind of was what I was thinking is if you can't play Gibraltar, next best thing is going to be Winston on Dorado, assuming it doesn't get banned out.
Yeah, we'll have to see what the bans are going to be coming in Dorado, like we said. Now it's all up to Bigbigbigttarfan, right? You can really seal the deal here with an Ana ban. That would be massive for their their hopes.
Ana or a Winston ban, right? Like, you feel like those are the two obvious ones on a map like Dorado, where those two heroes are very, very, very strong. But I digress. We will find out shortly what is in the head of this team with their mid-season grand champion hopes on the line. Have to win the next 2 maps in a row. Where do they go with this ban?
We're gonna have to see here, right? I
Just feels so obvious, Winston or Ana, right?
Right, it feels obvious, right? I mean, but like, it's Ash. I don't understand. What? My mind hurts, man.
I don't get it either, because if I remember correctly from the last series that RRG played, Mac actually started on Dorado with Ash. It didn't work, and they went to Tracer and then dominated on Tracer.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened.
So it's like, I think Mac is fully prepared to play Tracer on this map. So it seems very, very perplexing.
Man, I'm just so confused.
I mean, for RRG, I mean, I'm curious where they want to look to go here, because I mean, assuming, you know, they want to play classic with Winton, you want to play on a Brig, so maybe you look to ban the next best support that might, you know, take away the ability to play on a Brig. Like, you know, maybe you just take Juno out of the equation and be like, nope, all we're going to play is on a Brig with this Winston. There are going to be no other iterations.
Oh, no. I'm still just stuck on this Ash pick. Ana and the Winston were just such slam dunk choices, and they ban Ash. Juno's gonna be banned in here by RRG though.
I think, you know, that tells me Winton, Ana, Brig, and then probably Tracer plus, you know, Sojourn, or maybe an Echo or a Widow. Like that is my guess for this map for both teams. And I think based on that, you gotta favor RRG and how dominant they looked on Blizzard World in that exact situation.
Man, I'm just trying to think why we. Oh my goodness. We'll have to see, though. Dorado going to be the choice, and we had some swaps come back in, some changes of roles as well. No Nag gonna be coming into the roster here for the DPS role. Piercing back in, and then Varus back on the support line.
Yeah, that's like they're on a brig setup. No surprises there. And then we have Nyla coming in on the support line for the side of Big Tarfan. I mean, all comes down to this for Big Tarfan. They have to win the next 2 maps in a row, or they are getting beat for the first time in a while, which they're not used to being, as RRG on that revenge tour after getting eliminated in the playoffs last season.
As we'll have to see here, as we're about to load into lobby, and well, we'll see. Can RRG close it out here, Ray?
I heavily favor them in their ability to play Winston comps on this map. I mean, last time we casted them, Mac absolutely took over this map on Tracer, so hoping to continue that positive momentum they've built on Dorado specifically. If I was a betting man and you gave me money to bet on this game, I feel like the favorite has to be RRG.
Yeah, we will see indeed. Loading in, though, yet again, still RRG opting for the attack. Interesting decision, right? We'll see if that, I mean, it worked for him on Blizzard World, so I'm not hating it. I'm just pointing it out. Mac's gonna be on the Genji, though. And, well, we'll see how that's going to work for him, right? As Piercing already kind of low and gonna get deleted out by DJ Ashtray. And that is a quick fight win for Big Tarfan.
Yeah, we'll see. I think definitely the Widow's probably going to need to get swapped off here. I think Big Tarfan's doing a great job of playing their covers. Mac now going to go over to the Tracer. I think that's a smarter decision. Again, you got to get them off this high ground. That's a great way to do it as an Antony to force Ashtray back and then capitalize and get the kill.
As they're going to find Nene out, though, but it's not going to be enough to really turn this fight as everything's going the way of RRG. The big problem is you're not really moving the cart. You're not getting much progress like you might have hoped for, as you're going to lose Varus late here, as Pickles is still alive on this Tracer up above. Gotta rotate away, and No Nags on the Cassidy.
I mean, that's totally okay for RRG. I like the Cassidy pick. It's going to deter Piggles. You can't get too aggressive with the Tracer because you could be facing down a flashbang. All things considered, good adjustments from RRG. They've been very good about that this series.
Well, we'll have to see. The dive already comes in from Haru, rolling away. No Nag gonna get caught out here, though. Mac looking for a pick, but the picks keep coming through into T-Star's fan's favor. And that should just buy some more time here on this archway hold, so you're sitting pretty if you're a big T-Star fan.
Yeah, DJ Astra on this Sojourn feels like, you know, because you're going to compare it to No Nag, who's playing the Cassidy. That's going to have a lot more, sustained damage, but DJ Astra just keeps finding picks, and that's the power of the Sojourn. You got to limit that.
Nene's going to go down. Haru's finding the picks here with this nano boost, and well, that should just buy more and more time. You do lose Pickles late, but again, it is a Tracer pick. So Pulse Bomb going to come through is not going to really matter, though. So big T-Tarfan bringing it down, 1:30 on the board.
As we see, No Nag now going to go over to the Torbjorn, and again, that's going to be another bothersome pick for Piggles to have to deal with. Getting again early, that's big.
It is huge, and you might find Nyla out early or late, middle, somewhere in between. You find that pick, and now you find some more Kitsune Rush gonna be what you needed. Pushing forward now is RRG Varsity, looking to capture first point here in a few short moments. They are gonna get a last second touch here from Haru. Primal Rage going to be primaling and raging on the point, trying to buy some time, buy it down to that overtime for a chance to get the hold, and No Nag is down, and now you're sitting pretty if you're Deep Dive fan, right? You could, in theory, hold this out with a lack pick on the Nene as well, and now it's down to 30 seconds, and you don't really have anything.
Yeah, big time play coming in from Haru to stall out with that Primal Rage. Buy time for the team to come back. Now you have a Nano, you have an Overclock to work with. It's really the only upcoming ults you have are Pulse and Primal Rage if you're RRG. This is looking to be quite the hold from Big T-Tarfan. They've got to keep it going.
Going in, here they go. Piercing's down, found Nala, but they've had the property Primal Rage, and Piercing might fall, but the picks keep coming through from RRG. They seem to have done it again here, Ray, at the 11th hour, able to complete first point.
The comeback, the clutch that RRG has, the fact that they won that in the face of a nanoed overclock is absolutely nasty. And because of the late staggers they got, they can take early control of this high ground, and they're going to have both their DPS ultimates, as that was a costly fight. We do see DJ Ashtray getting off of the Sojourn and is going to play a Cassidy of their own.
As Nela is down for the count here at the pulse bomb from Mac. And you've got a lot of very forward position here if you're RRG, and again is gonna get taken out of the fight here. And you might just lose Haru. Now they're gonna be able to get away, and even if they didn't, they're gonna have Primal Rage in a few short moments. But DJ Ashtray on the case finds two. Now Nano Boost is gonna come through onto Piercing as well as the self nano ability. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. Pulse Bomb out, down, onto the point. Not going to find the pick, but still, RRG are pushing forward. Piercing's found another one. And now this cart really hasn't stopped on this offense since they've unlocked point one. And it doesn't seem like it's going to be stopping anytime soon here, Ray.
And Piercing with a huge Primal is basically going to give them this second point. I mean, you're going to get some touches in, but the numbers are there for the side of RRG.
As now they come in here, Kitsune Rush in from Nayla onto the point. Primal Rage was invested by Haru. Doesn't find much value you were hoping for. Now later, Kitsune Rush now going to come through. Deadeye could be huge from DJ Ashtray. Could be, but it also might just find nothing. And it's all No Nag in the kill feed for RRG. And 2 minutes to go. And a third point to attack.
And overtime push on first point turns into 30 seconds gain. Crazy how fast they were able to push that. As you mentioned, they were basically pushing it the entire time unencumbered. And now we see Haru making a swap off of the Winston, going over to the Diva, hoping to use this Diva to apply a little bit more pressure on the side of Piercing, who's just been able to hunt down these supports in the back line.
Pulse Bomb came through from Mac. Wasn't able to find a stick. Found some damage, so you buy some time. Now Nano Boost gonna come in from Haru, who's made the swap over to the Diva, but you're kind of already really low HP, but a nice anti-nade comes through from again, shuts down Piercing, minute 15 to go.
And again, all this distance you've gained if you're RRG has just been gravy considering what you were facing on first point. Nene's going to have the Nano to work with here, as Big T-Tarfan's not coming up on any ults in the meantime, so this is going to be a big push for RRG, but you got to wait a little bit longer as Mac gets taken down early.
Mac going down, and not how you wanted to start it off. Is Nano Boost going to come through, right? And now you can walk in. Piggles is going to get taken out, and DJ Ashtray might fall as well. Going to get cleansed up for a moment, but you're going to get primaled into a wall, into the corner, and you're going to just stay there. And now another pick comes through from that Primal Rage from Piercing.
Piercing
now
is so good.
Yeah, as they're going to be able to keep things going their way. And there's a Molten Core on the floor, and no one's going to be able to touch.
to finish with time on the clock after how that first point went is absolutely insane for the side of RRG, man. This tandem between Nene and Mac being able to follow up on everything that Piercing's allowed to do. It feels like every time Piercing has a primal, they just find someone, get them isolated in a corner, and they're dead. It is ridiculous the amount of control he has in those primals.
Yeah, they're calling him American Fearless. Some are saying. The some that are saying that is me, but we don't have to expose that, right? RRG now have the opportunity to take this series with a good defense here, right? Ray?
Yeah.
It's being played.
So I'm not gonna lie. I looked away for a second to put in a new cough drop. For any of you aspiring casters out there, always have cough drops on you when you're casting. I looked back because you're like, Ray. I'm like, okay, let me see. And then I was like, I see a Roadhog on my screen. What in the world is RRG cooking here?
Nene's on Lifeweaver. What are we cooking here? This is what.
I mean, this is like a one fight silly thing. I mean,
this is what is what Timeless did, and they got stomped on this map. So like, this is like the exact same setup Timeless did tonight.
They're already aware as they've been seen by Piggles.
Oh wait, huge hook. Maybe he's goated.
Not gonna matter.
Yeah, maybe he's goated though. I just don't understand it, man. I saw Timeless did this earlier today. Didn't watch that game either. I was sleeping. But like, I just don't understand it. Haru's made the swap over to the Sigma now.
Which again, the Lifeweaver pull able to save Piercing's life. But you would think at this point, you just want to die on cart and reset on different. We're on the Sigma now to counter the Hog, which is fine. But this is craziness.
And well, Bigbigbigttarfan don't really know what to do, right? They're just kind of waiting it out, trying to find a pick. But Varus is gonna find DJ Ashtray with a kunai to the dome, and Piggles is gone fishing. Or Piercing's gone fishing, taking down Piggles there, and
Do it! Yeah!
They looked at him like, you're just going to accept your fate. And then Haru did.
The fact that they've been able to take a minute and a half off the clock playing this Roadhog with Lifeweaver composition is absolutely ridiculous. But I mean, hey, heads up to RRG for making it work. Max got a pulse bomb, and you're going to have a molten core very shortly that will throw all over.
Hook no longer available here. Gonna have to... No way. No way, they're still alive, Piercing, and you know, Mac might just be able to find a pulse bomb here in a short second. Gonna get pushed through underpass though. Pulse bomb still available, and they're gonna just throw it in the midst of them. Gonna get some good damage, some consistent damage. Now Tree of Life comes through. And Graviton Surge out, gonna be pulled away. Varus is down, but the picks are still ever traded. Still back 1-for-1 now back in favor of it is RRG. Stunned out, staggered out. Piggles goes down, and now Haru's just all alone getting staggered.
Yeah, this is very bad for Haru. As back to the spawn room you go. More time wasted. I mean, by the time this next fight breaks out, we're going to have a minute left on the clock. Ttarfan will have a lot to work with, though. All of their support ults. RRG had to throw both their support ultimates just to sustain in that last fight. And they're able to hold on, but that means less tools at their disposal for the next coming fight. Piggles, I think, just with this overclock, should seal the deal.
Yeah, we'll have to see here. Could indeed seal the deal, but I mean, you've already lost DJ Ashtray, though. You've got the point in your favor right now. You have to kind of get there. and that's the big thing, right? This Kitsune Rush now going to come in from Naila. Pickles is super low. You're going to have to use the Nano Boost onto the Pickles to keep them alive, and finally it looks like everything goes the way of Bigbigbigttarfan. But it was very close.
Now this is where I think, you know, you swap your composition. Piercing even used the whole hog in a losing fight like that. Yeah. So we see Piercing now going to go over to the Winston. It looks like they're going to keep Nene on the Life Weaver. I'm assuming just to use this final Life of Tree that's about to come online. And then they'll probably look to swap. They're still on the Sigma for Haru, so I don't know, now that we're seeing Piercing swapped over the Winston, if they're going to change that up and look to swap to a different hero.
We'll see here now. Yeah, I assume Haru is going to swap, like you said, after they invest Graviton's Gravitic Flux into this, but maybe not. Pulse Bomb is going to come through from DJ Ash onto DJ Astri, take them down. Nene's going to probably change now onto an Ana, I would expect. The picks are going to come through from RRG. Everything's going to go their way, and they're setting themselves up yet again.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to see. Nene goes over to the Ana, and now if you're RG, you can throw a Kitsune Rush, whether it's going to be on the high ground, low ground, whatever, you're going to be in a good spot. Haru going to keep the Sig, I'm assuming. You know, the Accretion is getting good rocks on a Pierce and limiting, you know, the amount of damage they're able to apply after their jump. So DTRFan's got a lot of tools at their disposal.
Gravitic Flux in, Piercing's just deleted. And now Haru has an opportunity to swap when they die here. As we'll have to see if that is going to be the case. As you know, you find that pick on the Piggles, but you're still pushing for it. A minute on the board here, Ray, and I don't know.
Yeah, still a Kitsune Rush at their disposal, as well as Mac trades out with Piggles with the Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, and now you've lost DJ Ashtray. Haru's all alone. They're going to get staggered up. A nice anti-nade onto again. And should just be able to... Okay, you're just going to stagger out Haru again. No, but they're going to get healing? I don't know. What do they not want to swap off the Sigma? I'm just so confused. At the moment, Primal Rage now going to come in. You found Piggles, and you forced them to use Kitsune Rush in their spawn here, Ray. You know, you'll take that trade all day, every day, if you're RRG.
Yeah, 15 seconds left, and Big T-Tarfan's going to have, you know, a Gravitic Flux, and you're going to have a Nano, and you're going to be facing down a Nano and a Kitsune Rush. I like RRG's odds, and they can set up defensively here, as you have to continuously touch the cart, so you can't really have high ground control if you're a Big T-Tarfan.
Yeah, as now we're going to see here, they do find No Neg, early Kitsune Rush out, Nano Boost onto Haru, and you know, you might have some more time coming in for Bigbigbigttarfan. Nano Boost now out onto Piercing. You found a couple of picks, you found Piggles, and you're going to get the Pulse Bomb out. I'm not going to find the picks, but you're all in this room with Piercing and Mac, and that might just be the end of it all. The picks are coming through from RRG. Roadrunner Gaming are able to seal the deal, take the series, and win the mid-season 3-1.
What a series! Big. I mean, it's hard to say big upset, but I mean, D-Tarfan's the defending champions. You're able to come in the mid-season and take them down. Huge shout-outs to RRG Varsity, baby.
Yeah, they did some good stuff here tonight. The upset coming in over Bigbigbigttarfan in a 3-1 fashion, Ray. And well, it's a good upset. It makes the GM tier interesting now because, well, we thought, you know, this is Bigbigbigttar's tier to run. It's no longer that. And now we have an interesting storyline for the finals down the road. As we can take a look at the ban history here, if we want to do that. Right, we started off Lucio, Echo Band, then we moved over to Tor, Brig, Malga, Curie, and finally Ash, Ash Juno. And I hate to harp on people, but I think the Ash Band, it just doesn't make sense right now.
Yeah, the Ash is definitely perplexing. One wonders why there was never an Ana or a Winston Man at any point whenever those heroes were played. That is when we saw domination from the side of RRG. But we are going to take a quick break as we are going to have a winner's interview with Nene from RRG Varsity. So hang tight. We'll be right back.
Yeah. Welcome back, everyone. We're here now with Nene of the winning side of RRG Varsity. First off, Nene, congratulations on your mid-season grand finals win.
Thank you.
All right. You were kind of doing a lot of heavy lifting today on that Ana, right? Were you surprised that Bigbigbigttarfan did not ban out the Ana at all during the series?
Honestly, I don't think they were expecting me to play Ana. I'm not really known for my Ana gameplay. So when I kind of just went on the flanks as Ana and looked for those nades, I bet they were pretty surprised to see that.
See, that was the crazy part to me because, we can see your guys' chat when you're playing or whatever, and they're like, report Ana, like on map 2. So you would have thought after that point, when they realized how much of a problem and an issue you were posing, that they would have done it, but for some reason they didn't. What I want to ask you guys about is the Roadhog strat on Dorado. We didn't see that in your first matchup against Unknown Origin. So what made you guys bring it out today, and what was the cook there?
So we were watching Timeless on OWCS today, and we saw them actually pull out the Roadhog Lifeweaver comp on that exact point. And so we thought we'd give it a try, It didn't work for them, but
it worked for you guys. That's
literally just like, oh, that looks cool. Let's try it in the grand finals of the mid-season tournament.
Yep, correct.
Oh, that is just great. Okay, and then my other thought, final question from me. You guys swapped a lot of things out. I'm curious. I don't need the whole teaks. I don't need you to reveal all your guys' underneath strats and stuff. But the thoughts of when Bowser's in versus Mac, because it seems like Mac does a lot for you guys, but he's not always in. But then Nonag also going to tank at one point. But just what are the thoughts and feelings on all of that?
Yeah, we have a lot of players on our team, and they all kind of fill in different roles for us. So Bowser, for one, he kind of plays flex characters like Venture or Pharah. So whenever we feel comfortable putting him on like a map like that, then we put him in to play those two characters. And then New Junk City, honestly, that's just kind of a no-nag Zarya map. So that's just something we put him in there for.
Now, many people are calling Piercing, right, the American Fearless. Now, the people that are saying that is me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I wanted to talk about what's it like to play with Piercing when he's on his game on that Winston.
We've been scrimming Mauga a lot. So when we pulled out the Winston today, because they weren't playing Mauga mostly, it feels pretty nice to put him back on the Winston, and he really popped off today. So big shout out to him.
And well, speaking of shout outs, Nene, I want to give you your opportunity to give those shout outs before you head and celebrate with the rest of the team.
I want to shout out Nonag for always carrying the team on his back. That guy's just the goat. And I want to shout out my coach Puddles, who was absolutely furious with us today after like the first map. But he was pretty proud of us at the end, I'd say. Although he's not proud much, so. Yep.
That is great stuff. All right, Nene, have a wonderful rest of your night. Go celebrate with your squad. And again, congratulations on your NA Grand Finals for the mid-season tournament.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess their response to why they didn't think T-Tarfan banned the Ana was kind of, I mean, reasonable, right? But like you brought up, I mean, they thought they were hacking, right? I mean, but still, in the end, a good win for RRG, and it seems like a good I can't think of the word. Oh no. Right, you talk. I can't think of the word.
I was just going to say for RRG, I think I'm going to have to. I didn't realize during the break that that's my alma mater, University of Texas San Antonio, that they're not completely affiliated with, so they don't have the official logo for UTSA to be able to use it in this tournament. But man, it was really cool to find that out during the break, and I got to cheer for them now. That's my school I went to, baby.
Yep. They did really good. I'm still trying to think of the word that I forgot, but it does not matter.
Point or something, or
Ray, it's in the past. I don't even remember what I was talking about. In one ear, out the other. But let's take a look at our schedule here and wrap things up, because there is a game happening right now on CGL_2. We've already seen lots of 3-1s, some 3-0s. 1-3-0. Still could be a 3-1 on that other game that's happening right now on CGL_2, sort of skilled versus low ground main. That's the Masters Division Grand Finals happening over on CGL_2.
Yeah, so make sure to go turn in there, link your accounts, get those CGL tokens, folks, and go witness a great game of another Grand Final. Seems like it's going to be really close, just like this one, so we'll have to see how that goes. But for us here with this NAGM mid-season, that is pretty much going to wrap everything else for us tonight. Got a lot of thank yous to give out, so thank you, Joker, for casting with me. Absolutely a pleasure, like always. Thank you to Hippie, as well as our people behind the scenes on the prod for this game. It was
Bakery and Rhino.
Yeah, Bakery and Rhino. So shout outs to them observing and Hippie prodding. We could not do what you guys do. We couldn't do what we do if you guys couldn't do what you do. You guys are amazing. And shout outs to every one of you guys in chat for watching this amazing game. And make sure, we're going to rate them, but make sure to go join and watch the game on CGL2. From me and Joker, we'll see you next time.